Thanks for joining me for morning coffee. Well, it's been about 2 weeks since my last video about the Smooth 5. Again, I'm getting a lot of great feedback. I'm really enjoying the comments. I'm trying to interact with everyone. If I haven't gotten to you personally yet, I'm sorry, but I intend to. Now, one rumor I've heard from other YouTubers and from some commenters is that Filmic Pro is working on integration with the Smooth 5. I like Filmic Pro. That's one of my two go-to video apps for my iPhone. And I think they've always done a good job. As I understand it, they did a pretty good job with Smooth 4. I do think that the integration for Smooth 5 is probably the only thing that's going to save the Smooth 5, and I do sincerely hope that it works out. However, if it does work out, I won't be there celebrating with the rest of you because I'm selling my Smooth 5. It's on eBay right now. It has bids, and it's going to be gone in a few days. So this is the nice soft case. It's actually not a bad case, but this is the case that I got when I bought the bundle kit. There's a few things leading to this decision. It's not just my overall disappointment with the apps. Now, I do believe Filmic Pro is going to give it their all within the limits that Zhiyun, I honestly don't know how to pronounce it, but within the limits that they allow. And what do I mean? Well, I'm honestly a bit skeptical about cooperation from the manufacturer. Now, this is opinion based on some facts, and the only fact is that they are getting in the market of creating video apps with the ZY Cami and StaCam. And if this is a market they're trying to get in on, I am skeptical about their overall cooperation with Filmic Pro. Now, some of the reasoning for that is that Filmic Pro wasn't ready when Smooth 5 came out. From my perspective, if there was real cooperation between the two companies, Filmic Pro should have had something in their hands months before the release so they could have timed an update to Filmic Pro with the release of Smooth 5. And the Smooth 5 has been out for a few months now, and we still haven't heard of any updates. Now, they have confirmed it. They've confirmed it to me over social media. They've confirmed it to a lot of people, and I do sincerely believe they are working on it. So my issue isn't with the Filmic Pro development team. It is with Zhiyun, whatever. It's with them. That is my issue. Another reason that I'm selling my Smooth 5 is that I do not believe a tool should cost me this much frustration. Now, I could be completely wrong in a few months. Filmic Pro could come out with an update and completely blow it out of the water. And if that happens, that's great for all of you. It really is. But I'm moving on, and not just from the Smooth 5, from mobile filmmaking in general. And this is not me speaking down to any of you out there who do mobile filmmaking. Really, I think there's a market for it. I think there's a place for it. But after a year of trying it out, I don't think it's for me. I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It does a great job. It really does. We've come a long ways over the past few years of what our phones can shoot. We really have. But you know what? These have come a long ways too. This is the new GH6. For those of you who've been around my channel, you know that I'm a Lumix shooter. I tried to do the mobile filmmaking thing because I do a lot of nature, a lot of landscape, and I have to hike to a lot of my locations. So it seemed like a good option to get the 12 Pro Max to get filters. You know, I have the Polar Pro filters, which are decent filters. They do a good job. I even got the Moment anamorphic lens right here. And that means I just carry my phone and a few small accessories and a power bank. That's pretty compact. And there have been times where it worked, but there were a lot of times it didn't work. I'd be reviewing my footage, and the only thing I could think about was, I wish I shot this on my Lumix. I wish I went the extra mile and carried the extra weight. Now, I'm not getting rid of my 12 Pro Max or the filters. I think it's still a great tool to have in my pocket. However, I don't want to treat it as my primary tool. It just doesn't work for me. Now, if it works for you, that's great. I'm not saying it does not work in general. I'm not making a blanket statement. This is a statement that applies only to my workflow. And also there's the business side of it. The kind of work that I've been finding that allows me to just use a phone. A lot of these gigs are very short, few hours, 2 days at the most. They pay all right, but I'm always having to scramble to keep finding work. Now, the kind of work that I find when I'm using my actual cameras is usually longer duration. It's a little more consistency in an inconsistent industry. Now, if I had the option of doing 20 one-day gigs or one 30-day gig, I'll take the 30-day gigs. And usually those longer gigs are a little bit higher budget. They're kind of expecting you to use better gear. And in these cases, the only times that the iPhone has been useful is as an emergency B-roll camera when I had nothing else. And so for that, it's great to have in my pocket. But ultimately, I had to make a decision that I don't want to invest any more money, any more time into mobile filmmaking. And whenever I do upgrade my iPhone, I'm really on the fence if I'm going to get like another Polar Pro case. Now, this isn't me knocking Polar Pro. I think they make good products. I'm really happy with the case and the filters. It's just a hassle to have to buy a new case and new filters with every iPhone release. That is a pain in the ass. And frankly, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on that one. So this will be my last video about the Smooth 5. To be honest and transparent, it's not the only thing that I'm selling. As I've decided to make this change and go back to these cameras for more of my dedicated work, I've decided to offload a lot of little accessories. So there's a lot of things that I'm selling. It's just not me saying F you to Zhiyun. There's a part of that, but a big part of that is me changing my workflow, which I do every 4 to 5 years. I will go through phases where I offload a lot of gear and buy new gear. The comments have been great. I have really enjoyed interacting with everyone on these videos. Usually YouTube comments are a toxic place of trolling and unnecessary fighting. Not in this case. I think we all had a real topic to talk about. There's been a lot of good information sharing and really no trolling. It's been very surprising and a very positive experience, which gives me some hope for the YouTube community. It really does. This channel has always been like a side project channel. I have other things that I'm doing. I have my little independent films I like to work on, my nature films. This channel was more about my photography, using vintage lenses. I want to get back to that. I don't want to fight with hardware anymore. I just want to create. I want to be a storyteller. I want to inspire people. And I'm more than ready to get back to that. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.